Hello, hello, my friends. Welcome back to the Kingdom of the Gutes. It is episode, 25 is what I'm looking at. Last episode, we discussed the possibility of raiding, and I've thought about it a little bit more. One commenter, I'm sorry, I can't recall who it was at this exact moment, suggested we recruit smaller armies and send them across Europe to raid, and that's not such a bad idea, really. My only concern there is those armies in upkeep will cost more than the raiding income they will generate. That is a possibility. If I had generals that I would like to train, that I would like to gain ranks, that would make it more seductive. Not seductive, but it would make more sense. Although, having said that, our cheapest units cost 64. So I could send 10 units of Thrall Spears out for 600 gold a turn, and it's possible they would be able to recuperate that in income. For the time being, though, I want to be a little bit more restrained, and I think I'm just going to stick with the fleets for the next couple of videos, at least, anyway. I won't completely discount the idea of raiding armies, but talking about fleets and whatnot, I'm looking at Bertigala. Bertigala is what I can only assume a rich Roman city, and it is very lightly defended. There are in total 6 units of infantry defending, and then there are 4 ships in the harbor. Of course, they are Liburnians, so it's entirely possible they could ram us and ruin our day, and many lives in the process, but I'm more than willing to imagine if we focus our archers on the ship, we could burn it down and land before it becomes an issue. But I'm imagining that Bertigala is a target for Vikingir. So I don't necessarily want to go to war with the Swabians now, and eventually we will be, but right now I don't want to go to war with them. I would much rather sort of just sit back, get my shit in order, and then, you know, begin formulating a plan. They are the most obvious raiding target in this way. Rhodomagus is right here. It is across the channel. We could raid it in one turn, return to port, essentially. But as I said, I don't want to go to war with the Swabians just yet. The Geats are also a very enticing target. I can see alone in this screen 3 cities that are harbor or port cities. We could just sail right in, sack them, and leave. I think I am going to build a fleet in Humbly, and he can begin fucking around in Alibu. The other thing, too, is we are actually trading with the Geats, so I don't want to go to war with them just yet. But if we were to sail into, this would be the Baltic Sea, correct? We may be able to find some more factions that we're not exactly friendly with, and we can raid there. But since I figure we are already at war with Rome, that is why Bertigala is very attractive. Not only that, they have many cities in the Mediterranean that are probably weakly defended, and I have to say, Rome is actually doing quite well against the province of Hispania, and that's sort of worrying. If they take all of Spain, that is a big bad Rome. That's a big bad Rome that eventually I'm going to have to come to terms with. I'm going to have to tumble with. It's sort of funny that I was whining about the cost of armies before, but here I am about to build a massively expensive fleet. I think we'll go for 10 units in total, but here's my thought process. Since we are, of course, essentially Great Britain or the UK, I would rather have stronger fleets than stronger armies at my beck and call, because we can probably see armies coming via the ocean, via the seas, and we can deal with them on said seas. So that's why I'm heavily investing into navies. Also, we are of course a Viking nation, or a cousin of Vikings, if you will. So again, it makes sense. Get the longships. The Langobards have just declared war on the Geats, probably because the Geats have captured Tuliferdum, and the Langobards in Erigelia are a little worried. Not to mention there's a bunch of units just chilling outside of the capital. I can only imagine that the Geats are getting a little too big for their britches. You know, they're like a caterpillar busting out of their cocoon, and that cocoon is, of course, Scandinavia, and Europe is looking on like, oh shit, look at this fucking... These Viking assholes are coming from Sweden, they're coming from Denmark, they're taking our jobs and our women, probably. There's a lot of handsome Scandinavians out there, just let you know. And they're probably, as well, buying up all our pies and food and wheat and all sorts of shit. Moving on, though, we've just built a new lead mine in Saguntium, as well as a sacred grove in Lindum. We are still starving in Britannia Superior, which should cease as soon as these pastures and this grain store is complete. So that's going to be resolved within a turn. We are also starving ever so slightly in Britannia Inferior, so I have ordered the construction of grain stores in Eboracum, but it's 4 fucking turns away. Far too many turns away, but I am actually going to... I was doing something with the farm and whatnot in Lindum. Was I going to build the farm in Saguntium? No, I was... Oh man, I honestly can't remember. It's been a while. I have demolished the trade wharf in Iblana, though, because of course I want to convert it to a military wharf, which is going to cost 1,600. I'm more than happy to pay that. You know what? Let's build these pastures in Lindum. I think that's what I was going to do, though I'm not certain. Yikes. I could also upgrade the fishing jetties, but that's even longer. I really see no reason to dump more money into Britannia Inferior at the moment. I could put a bit of money into Superior, however, that also is not necessarily necessary. Ivar is fond of gambling, which is incredibly annoying considering he is the governor of our, at the moment, capital province. One of you mentioned I should move the capital, and I will do again. I will soon edit Londinium to become the capital. It's just sort of annoying. I have to go in, I have to edit some save files. It's a big fucking thing. So I've been putting it off, basically, is what I'm saying. I've actually just destroyed as well the rebel army of the province of Britannia. They crossed the channel yet again, tried to attack Londinium, and were quickly swatted away. And with that in mind, I think I want to quickly swat away the Children of Doom. Once I build this fleet, I will send them over and just fuck their ship completely up. 100% up and down the block. Let's just take a quick look. Caledonia and Hibernia is by far hugely, hugely wealthy compared to the rest of the kingdom at the moment. I was thinking I could perhaps switch Ivar to govern something else, but that seems to be a waste of time. Then again, these two provinces aren't nearly as developed. That will come. Okay, I think that is essentially it for this turn, and we'll move on. But first, a word from our sponsor. That sponsor, of course, being me. You there, you watching, statistically, on average, people only watch 8 minutes of the video, okay? So I just think, like, if you're sitting around, you're still watching after 8 minutes, it's pretty clear to me that you're enjoying the video. So just drop a like, drop a comment. That would be greatly appreciated. It would also help me out big time. Big time. Also, it really, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it makes me feel better about myself. When I go to bed at night, I count up all the likes I've gotten throughout the day, and that's how many times I was going to get really weirdly sexual, but I think I'll just leave it here. I want to leave that to your imagination. What is it you think I do with those likes? Every like equals a prayer or something. I don't know. Fuck. All right, let's end the turn, as I said. All right, our political rival, Haraldir, is trying to get married to a 51-year-old priestess. And I think we just have to begrudgingly give him our blessing. I can't get between a man and his love, okay? Although, what in the world? Devotion. This man is grateful for your aid during a recent political intrigue. That's right. Ragnar had to spend some influence to get Frodi his position. And that's all sorts of fun. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just take a quick look at Iblana first. We will be able to recruit artillery Liburnians, which is incredibly interesting. What I want to do is I'm going to take some ships from Vikingir immediately. I just want to grab... Let's go 3 units of archers in Humbli's fleet, rather, and then another 3 units of raiders. There we go. Humbli now has a 10-ship fleet. That is costing me what? This button. It is costing me 2,000. 2,000 fucking coins per turn. Hopefully he can pay that off relatively quickly. We'll sail up to the Angles and try to ruin their lives. Ruin their homes and their lives. I'm going to have Vikingir recruit some ships to replace. Obviously he can't raid while doing this, but actually, let's leave out 2 units. We'll just get these 2. And once this is built, we will recruit some artillery ships, and we can use those artillery ships to take Burdigala. Not take it, but sack it. Sack it, loot it, strip it of its wealth. And we'll do the same with Humbli's fleet. Eventually we'll give him some artillery, so he'll be ready to roll. Here's my thought. We can actually, for example, Rotomagus, we can transport an army with the fleet. We can use the fleet to remove things like towers and whatnot ahead of time, and then we can land the armies to capture these territories. Same with Colonia Agrippina, etc., etc. Let's see what else is going on. Buildings constructed. We have built some market stalls in Eboracum, which has raised the income to... It seems it's actually done quite a lot, interestingly enough. We've also built some pastures in Camulodunum, which has not... That actually has ended the food shortage, my mistake. Oh, we've done it in both inferior as well as superior, but I suspect that... Yeah, it's only because it's autumn, that is why Britannia inferior is good to go. Attrition, we've suffered all sorts of... A lot of men have starved this past season. Not a pretty sight. Okay, shit, I already forgot what I was planning to do. My plan was to send Humbli over to attack the Jutes, and we'll have Heraldir support if entirely necessary, just to prevent, what's his nuts? Sumarldir? To prevent him, my god, I'm tongue-tied trying to say Sumarldir. To prevent him from making landfall. I'll have Heraldir in position. Although it is winter next turn, I don't know if it's necessary that he gets in place. You know, we could just have these assholes suffer winter attrition. That would be nice. Okay, I want to put a point into... hold on here. This is Inspire Populace. What do I need to spread religion? Do I need to be in another settlement? Okay, spread religion is what they call the passive effect. That is not an action. Okay, so that's going to increase her religious influence to effectively 14 points. Is that for real? My god. Okay, that's obviously what we want to put a point into, and also I think progressive would be worthwhile maybe next level. Let's put a point into spiritual leadership. That will increase our public order, of course. There it is. So if we look at the religious influence, we are we are in fact getting 12 points of influence. That is kind of crazy. That much influence from one level. That's kind of bizarre. Okay. Moving on, we still have quite an army under Ragnar, which maybe I'll just cut out. Maybe I'll just cut out the spearmen for now. That should save us a bit of gold. We can definitely defend Londinium with axe, warband, and bows. Maybe even 3 bow units. But the problem here is I am unable to recruit archers in the south. Is that seriously something I can only do in, yeah, it is 100% something I can only do in Caledonia. So maybe, just maybe, I'll hold on to these archers because I don't want to have to go all that fucking way. Frodi has a skill. Oh shit, I forgot. Frodi is the one with foreign interests, the asshole. Currently the governor of Britannia Inferior, I believe. Regardless, he's going to need a bit of authority. And we'll make him a hunter as well, just to help resolve the food issues. No, he is the fucking governor of Superior. Well, that was a bit of a waste of a point, but... oh well, too little too late, I suppose. Ha, look at this, the Jutes are running away. Like the little bitches they are, they know what's up. I don't know, maybe they're making a move for Iblana? I hope not. We will be there to meet them if that is the case. We have a small garrison, not an ideal amount of troops, but I think it is more than enough to deal with the assholes in that fleet. I would use Sigurd to counter, but unfortunately, Saguntium still has no garrison, so just in case they go for Saguntium, I'm going to leave him there. The province of Africa declared war on the Garamantians. Markomans, as well as the Roman separatists, are at war. Carinium has built a toolmaker. Excellent. We can now utilize the iron that we are not... oh wait, no, that is in fact the iron building line. I thought it was basically... I thought it was a basic industry building, and we were not, in fact, taking... making use of the iron, but I was basically misinformed. Let's just move on. I'm getting caught up. I'm tripping over my tongue. And, you know what? Let's build some market stalls in Londinium. Actually, I'm going to build the meeting hall. First and foremost, I want to get that chieftain's hold up and running, which is going to be pretty useful once I edit Londinium to be the capital. Now, I almost want to build a smithy here. That will allow us to recruit many more troops of different various types. It will also give us bonuses to armor and whatnot. Seems to me to be a pretty good choice for Londinium. So I'm gonna go with that. Alrighty. Back to raiding immediately. I love that. I think within the next turn we ought to be able to destroy the Jutes. Now I have my spies up in Alba now, or Alabu I should say. At least I didn't say ABBA, you know, that would have been really disappointing, like a Freudian slip about ABBA. No, they're not my favorite band. Get out of here. Alabu is very weakly garrisoned as well. There's only 6 units, 2 of which are elite Nordic warriors, though, which is a little bit worrying, but I can't imagine we'll have too many units. We will most definitely have quality, or rather quantity over quality. And I've just realized as well, we are only unlocking the artillery ships because this is a level 2... oh, no, my mistake. I was, for some reason, thinking we were upgrading to a level, or rather, retrofitting to a level 3 wharf, but is in fact a level 2. And that is the entire reason I demolished from Okay, it's all flooding back to me now, I'm remembering. If you can't tell, it's been possibly a week or more since I've recorded this series. Eventually, we will be able to build dragon ships as well as Greek fire dromenarians. I don't know what it will take. Oh, I see. We have to research mastery of terrain, which we can do. We have the cash. That will retrofit 3 of our units, and I actually would not be opposed to just doing that ever so quickly. Just do that this turn, since it's peacetime, we can spare the gold. That will change my spears as well as my, what was it, my horse raiders to Nordic mounted raiders. Which is what I currently have, or am I reading that incorrectly? Unlocks recruitment of Nordic horse raiders, yes. Okay, so that is in fact an upgrade for my current cavalry. Well, who knows, it's possible that they will be really expensive, but let's just take a quick look, get a report with Gizir, and end the episode. I can see here there are some Swabian armies chilling in Lugdunum. That's just fine. You know what? We're gonna send him down to Spain. I need some more intel. I'm just seeing cities falling one by one. They currently occupy. This is the Romans. They currently occupy Bracara, Pompilo, Tarraco, as well as, well, they're very nearly about to capture Carthago Nova. I think we should put a fleet in the Mediterranean to raid the Romans. It's a bit out of our way and sort of doesn't make sense from a logistical standpoint, but luckily we don't have to supply these fleets. So we can just assume they're, I don't know, buying resources from friendly Hispanians, perhaps. Maybe we're stopping in Carthago to get supplies, who knows. But I'm just seeing a lot of ripe targets that I can't imagine are too defended. They're not defended that much. I don't even know if the Romans have any navies, but I'm thinking if I send a big fucking navy like we will have, we should be fine. 16 units is a really big navy, and I can't imagine the Romans have anything that can challenge that, aside from, well, they do have Liburnians, don't they, that can just ram. Well, that's a tough one. Maybe we ought to scout with Gizir, get him out on the ocean, or rather the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah, we can scout the interior of Spain, take to sea, and he can direct Viking Ears raiding parties. That sounds like a plan. Anyway, everyone, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We didn't really do much, just a lot of talking about plans, etc., etc. Hopefully those come to fruition pretty quickly. Most immediately, Humbly is going to be taking out the Jutes and then sailing to Alabu. And then we will see how easy, like from my recollection, it's pretty easy to sail into a city, take it via the port, and then just sack it for thousands of gold. But I could be misremembering at this point. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, leave a comment. As always, my name is Incoherence. You guys are fucking awesome, and I will see you all later.